The novel is set in a dystopian future where books are banned, and firemen burn any books that are found. Society is obsessed with mindless entertainment and superficial pleasures, and critical thinking is discouraged. Television screens cover entire walls, and people are constantly bombarded with shallow media content, leaving little room for introspection or meaningful human connection. This environment creates a pervasive sense of isolation and conformity. Sound familiar? The protagonist, Guy Montag, is a fireman who becomes increasingly disillusioned with his role in society. He begins to question the purpose of his work and the emptiness of his life. Montag's internal conflict grows as he recognizes the hollowness of the pleasure-driven existence around him, leading to a profound identity crisis. His transformation starts when he realizes that his job, which once gave him pride, now fills him with dread. Montag meets Clarisse McClellan, a young woman with a curious and questioning nature. She introduces him to a world of ideas and possibilities, prompting him to reevaluate his life and the society he lives in. Clarisse's free-spirited attitude and inquisitive mind starkly contrast with the conformist mentality of the society, serving as a catalyst for Montag's awakening. Her simple questions and genuine interest in the world make Montag aware of what he has been missing. Montag's wife, Mildred, overdoses on sleeping pills in a suicide attempt. This incident highlights the pervasive unhappiness and emptiness in their society. Mildred ends up saved by a mechanical device. The operators, however, are indifferent, treating the incident as routine. They explain that they handle multiple cases like this every night, underscoring the widespread nature of such despair. Mildred's indifference to her near-death experience underscores the numbing effect of the society's constant stimulation and lack of meaningful relationships. Her obsession with television and refusal to face reality further alienate Montag. Influenced by Clarisse's questions and his growing unease, Montag begins to secretly read books he has taken from burnings. He becomes more aware of the oppressive nature of his society. As he reads, Montag discovers the richness of thought and emotion contained in literature, which starkly contrasts with the emptiness of his daily life. This newfound knowledge fuels his dissatisfaction and desire for change. Clarisse suddenly disappears, and Montag learns that she has been killed by a speeding car. Her death deeply affects him and fuels his desire for change. Clarisse's untimely demise represents the dangers faced by those who dare to think differently in a repressive society. Her absence leaves a void in Montag's life, pushing him further along his path of rebellion. During a raid on a house with hidden books, an old woman chooses to burn herself alive with her books rather than live without them. This act of defiance profoundly impacts Montag and intensifies his doubts about his role. The old woman's willingness to die for her books demonstrates the powerful connection between knowledge and personal freedom. Her sacrifice becomes a turning point for Montag, highlighting the stark reality of the society's oppression. Montag becomes increasingly conflicted and seeks knowledge to understand his feelings. He contacts Faber, a retired English professor, for guidance and help. Faber represents the intellectual curiosity and resistance that Montag aspires to. Through their conversations, Montag gains insight into the importance of literature and the need to preserve human thought. Faber explains the value of books and the critical thinking they encourage. He provides Montag with a two-way communication device to stay in contact and guide him. The two-way communication device that Faber provides to Montag is a small, green, bullet-shaped earpiece referred to as the Green Bullet. This device is a significant piece of technology within the story, symbolizing the clandestine resistance against the oppressive regime that bans and burns books. Faber's mentorship helps Montag articulate his growing discontent and offers practical advice on how to resist the oppressive system. Their partnership symbolizes the alliance of action and intellect in the fight against censorship. Montag's rebellion against society grows. He reads poetry to Mildred and her friends, shocking them with its emotional depth. He also becomes more reckless in his defiance of the firemen's rules. This act of rebellion reveals the power of literature to provoke thought and stir emotions, unsettling those who have become numb to such experiences. Montag's increasing boldness signifies his commitment to challenging the status quo. Montag's fire chief, Captain Beatty, becomes suspicious of him. Beatty orders Montag to burn his own house as a test of loyalty. Montag complies, but ultimately turns the flamethrower on Beatty, killing him. This climactic moment represents Montag's final break from his past and the oppressive system he once served. Beatty's death signifies the end of Montag's internal conflict and the beginning of his full-fledged resistance. After killing Beatty, Montag becomes a fugitive. He flees the city, narrowly avoiding capture by the Mechanical Hound, a robotic enforcer used by the firemen to track down and incapacitate people who possess books. Montag's escape is a desperate and perilous journey, symbolizing his transition from oppression to freedom. The mechanical hound represents the relentless pursuit of dissenters in a totalitarian society. Montag finds refuge with a group of intellectuals led by a man named Granger. These book people have memorized books to preserve their content for a future time when society will once again value knowledge. The book people embody the hope and resilience of human culture, keeping the flame of knowledge alive despite the societal darkness. Their mission offers Montag a sense of purpose and community. Montag decides to commit a book to memory, becoming part of the collective effort to preserve human culture. The city is destroyed in a nuclear war, symbolizing the collapse of the oppressive society. Montag and the book people plan to rebuild a new society based on knowledge and critical thinking. The city's destruction serves as a powerful metaphor for the self-destructive nature of a society that suppresses knowledge and individual thought. The survivors' commitment to rebuilding signifies the enduring power of human spirit and intellect. The novel ends on a hopeful note, with Montag and the book people preparing to help humanity rise from the ashes. Fahrenheit 451 explores themes of censorship, the power of literature, the consequences of complacency, and the importance of individual thought and freedom. Bradbury's cautionary tale remains relevant as a reminder of the dangers of allowing authoritarianism and anti-intellectualism to flourish. The story champions the transformative power of books and the necessity of safeguarding free thought. Consider subscribing to continue to learn more classic works. Hope to see you in the next summary. What book would you like to see next? Let us know in the comments.